First, take out the round one square and the gray yarn from the package. Before we start, let's observe the round 2 so you can learn the structure of it. You need to crochet 3 double crochets, 3 chain stitches, and 3 double crochets into each corner space of the white round 1. Round 2 is composed of 4 sets of these corner crochets. Each corner is connected by a chain stitch. Let's start the round 2 crochet. First, wrap the yarn around your little finger and index finger to hold the yarn. Then pinch the first layer of squares and yarn at the same time. Insert your hook into this space. Yarn over and pull the hook through the space. Yarn over again, and pull through the loop that's left on your hook. The first slip stitch has been made. Yarn over, and pull through the loop on your hook. Then you are going to chain 3. This is what we call the chain stitch. Yarn over, pull through the loop. We need 2 more chain stitches. We can hold the loop with our index finger to make it easier to crochet. Yarn over, and pulled through the loop. Now you have the chain 3, which is your pretend double crochet stitch and the starting point of each round. Place the yarn from the back to the front and hold it with our fingers to make it easier to crochet and to hide the yarn with double crochet. The back looks like this. Now let's pop a double crochet step by step. First, yarn over. You can prevent the loops from slipping by hold them with your finger. Go into this space and yarn over. Bring the yarn through, so you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over again, and pull through the first 2 loops on your hook. Now you have 2 loops on your hook, so yarn over and pull through the remaining 2. We just finished the first double crochet and we need 1 more. Yarn over and go into the space. Yarn over. Bring it through the space and you have 3 loops. Yarn over and pull through first 2. Yarn over again and pull through the remaining 2. The first triple chain stitches is the pretended double crochet, so you have completed our first set of triple double crochets. Crochet 3 chain stitches to form a corner of round 2. Slide them together to make it easier to make the next 3 double crochets. Next, crochet 3 double crochets into the same space. The first one. the second one. And the last one. Make a chain stitch after these 3 double crochets. Now you've formed a complete corner of round 2. Cut off excess yarn with scissors. Let's crochet the next corner. To form this corner, you need to crochet 3 double crochets, 3 chain stitches, and 3 double crochets. From now on, we will use abbreviations. Crochet 1 chain stitch to connect the previous corner. Go ahead, 3 double crochets, 3 chain stitches, and 3 double crochets. We already completed 3 corners. Let's finish the last one. At this point, we've finished crochet the second layer of squares. Next, we need to use a slip stitch to connect the first and the last. Find the stitch between the first 3 chain stitches and the first double crochet. Insert your hook into this stitch, yarn over. Pull through the stitch and also the loop left on your hook. And the slip stitch has been made. Cut the yarn with scissors. Pull out the yarn with the hook. Let's use the needle to hide the yarn. First, thread the yarn through the needle. Find the stitch on the side of the square. Use the needle to thread through the stitch from side to side. Cut off the excess yarn. Then flatten the squares. First of all, let's put round 1, round 2, and round 3 side by side and observe the difference. Compared with round 1, round to square has a space at the center of each side. Let's call it center space. You need to pop 3 double crochets into a center space. Both ends are chain stitches. The round 4 and 5 in turn add 3 double crochet for the center space crochet. 1 set of 3 double crochet in the center of each side of the third layer. 2 sets of 3 double crochet in the center of each side of the fourth layer. The fifth layer has 3 sets of 3 double crochet in the center of each side. Okay, now let's start round 3. Hold the yarn and round to square together. Insert your hook into this space. Yarn over. Pull the hook through the space and yarn over again. Pull through the loop on your hook. Go ahead to crochet 3 chain stitches. Which is your pretend double crochet? Place and hold the yarn from the back to the front. 2 double crochets. Three chain stitch. And 3 double crochets. After that, pop a chain stitch to create the next space. Cut off excess yarn with scissors. Next, pop 3 double crochets into the center space. After the 3 double crochets, let's make a chain stitch. You are going to do the same on the other 3 center spaces. Now let's move on to the next corner. Pop 3 double crochets, 3 chain stitches, 3 double crochets, and a chain stitch. 3 double crochets into the center space. The third edge space. Now we just finished 3 corners of the square. So let's finish the last corner. The last edge space. The last center space. Since round 3 and round 4 use the same color, you are going to crochet 3 slip stitches to move the yarn to the corner. Let's find out 3 holes between these double crochets. Pop a slip stitch into each hole. Insert your hook into the first hole. Yarn over. Pull through the holes and also pull through the loop that's left on your hook. Repeat. The third hole is the edge space. Pop the final stitch into the space. Okay, we just finished round 3. First, let's look at the fourth square. Each side of round 4 has 1 edge space and 2 center spaces. Repeat 4 times. Same as round 2 and round 3, start with 3 chain stitches at the edge as double crochet. Same with beginning of the second and the third layers, we begin by crocheting 3 chain stitches as a double crochet. Then make 2 double crochets. Slide them together to make it easier to make the next 3 double crochets. Go ahead and pop 3 chain stitches. Three more double crochets. Next, let's crochet 2 sets of 3 double crochets. Make a chain stitch to connect the next set of double crochets. Pop a chain stitch to start the edge space crochet. You just finished the half of round 4. There are 2 center spaces, 1 edge space, and 2 center spaces left to crochet. Pop 3 double crochets into the center space. Make a chain stitch to connect the next set of double crochets. We've finished crochet half of the 4th layer of the square. There are 2 center spaces, 1 edge space, and 2 center spaces left to crochet. 3 double crochets in this center space. Pop a chain stitch. The next space. Pop a chain stitch to the last edge space. Pop a chain stitch toaster the last edge crochet. Crochet a chain stitch to G on next center spaces crochet. Pop a chain stitch, then pop a slip stitch to connect them. Find the first hole between the 3 chain stitches and the first double crochet. Insert your hook into this hole. Yarn over. Pull through the holes and also pull through the loop that's left on your hook. Flatten the square. Cut off the yarn and hide the rest of it with the threading needle. Pull the yarn out with hook. Thread the yarn into the needle. Find the stitches on the edge of the square. Pass the needle through the holes of the stitches from side to side. Cut off excess yarn with scissors. Only the 5th layer is left to crochet. First, let's look at the round 5. Each side of the round 5 has 1 edge space and 3 center space crochets. Repeat 4 times. Let's start. Wrap the yarn around your hands to hold the yarn. Pinch round 4 and yarn at the same time. Insert your hook into this stitch. Yarn over and pull the hook through the space. Yarn over again and pull through the loop that's left on your hook. Then 3 chain stitches. Place the yarn from the back to the front and hold it. 2 double crochets. Go ahead and pop 3 chain stitches. Three more double crochets. Each side of the round 5 has 3 center space crochets. The first center space. The second. The third. Pop a chain stitch to start the edge space crochet. Make a chain stitch to connect the next set of double crochets. Pop a chain stitch. We just finished the half of round 4. There are 3 center spaces, 1 edge space, and 3 center spaces left to crochet. Pop a chain stitch to start the center space. The last center space. Pop a chain stitch to start the next space crochet. Pop a chain stitch to start the next space crochet. Pop a chain stitch to start the last center space crochet. We need a slip stitch to connect the first and the last. Find the first hole between the 3 chain stitches and the first double crochet. Insert your hook into this hole. Yarn over. Pull through the holes and also pull through the loop that's left on your hook. Flatten the granny square. Cut off the yarn and hide the rest of it with the threading needle. Pull the yarn out with hook. Tighten the yarn. Thread the yarn into the needle. Find the stitches on the edge of the square. Pass the needle through the holes of the stitches from side to side. Cut off the excess yarn. Congratulations! You just made your first granny square. Next, let's go back and learn how to crochet round 1. As before, we'll start by observing the round 1. It's easier than the other rounds. Round 1 is made up of 4 sets of 3 double crochets and 3 chain stitches. And the center ring is made up of 5 chain stitches. Okay, let's start round 1 crochet. Use the white yarn to crochet. First, we are going to make a loop. Flip the loop. Pinch this line with your fingers. Then pull out through the circle. Place the loop on the hook. And pull the yarn to fix it. Wrap the yarn around your hands to hold the yarn. Then pop a chain stitch. Take out a marking clip and clip it on the first chain stitch you made just now. Pop 4 chain stitches. Now you have 5 chain stitches. Then pop a slip stitch into the first stitch. Insert your hook into this stitch. Remove the marking clip. Yarn over, pull through the stitch and the loop. The 5 chain stitches create a space. Let's mark the space with a marking clip. Pop 3 chain stitches like what you did in the other rounds. We need to pinch the excess yarn with the marked space to make it easier to hide it during the knitting process. 2 double crochets through the marked space. Continue crocheting 3 chain stitch. Then you are going to make 3 sets of 3 double crochets plus 3 chain stitches. It's easy to see where the space is, so you can remove the clip now. Don't forget to pinch the excess yarn around the space. Now you've finished the half of round 1. Let's crochet the rest to sets of 3 DC plus 3 CH. We need to keep pinching the yarn around the space together until we finish round 1. You finished round 1 crochet. Find the hole formed by the first triple chain stitches and the first double crochet, and insert your hook into this hole. Yarn over, pull through the holes and also pull through the loop that's left on your hook. Cut off the yarn. Pull the yarn out with hook. Tighten the yarn. The round 1 is finished. Thread the needle. Pass the needle through the holes of the stitches from side to side. Find the center yarn and pull it tight to make the whole square more compact. Cut off the excess yarn. Finish your remaining squares next. Okay, now let's connect to granny squares together. Let's start by looking at the front of the square. The front side will be like a shallow bowl like this. This side you are facing while crocheting. This is the back side. Put the 2 granny squares together and let their fronts face to face. All we need to do is to connect stitches on the sides of the 2 squares with a needle. Let me explain the detail. It is necessary to thread the needle through the stitches at the same position on both squares, so that your granny square bag will look great. Let's begin. Pick up the yarn. The length of the yarn we are going to use must be longer than 3 times of the length of the sides of the square. Thread the needle. First, find out the middle chain stitch of the edge space. The second one is where we started. The second chain stitch of the edge space, which we call the center stitch. Thread through center stitch of 2 squares with needle. In order to facilitate subsequent stashes, we need to leave a little bit of thread long enough here. Run it again into the same stitch. And go through the loop. Pull the yarn to make it tighter. We've just made a knot. By the way, we can put this yarn between the 2 squares to hide it. Go ahead and run the needle through the stitches. Since it might be difficult to connect the back, we don't have to tie it too tight. We've come to the middle. Maybe there's not enough yarn left to crochet the whole way. Let's learn how to replace the yarn with a new one if you find it's not long enough during the crochet process. Let's connect another stitch. Run it again into the same stitches. And go through the loop. Tie a knot. Change a new yarn and repeat the above step for the next stitch. Connect the next stitch. Run it again into the same stitches. And go through the loop. And just keep connecting the rest stitches normally. We managed to replace the yarn that wasn't long enough. Keep connecting. We came to the center chain stitch in edge space, where our connection ended. This is the last one. We need to make a knot to end it. Now make a knot. Here's what it looks like from the front. Now, let's take out the third granny square. Look at the curves on the front. Stack them face up on top of each other. We're going to connect this side. Take out the yarn. Thread the needle. Find the second chain stitch, which we call the center stitch. Stitching from the center chain, stitch in the edge space, as before. Pass the needle through the center stitches in the same hole, leaving a little yarn behind. Repeat in the same position. Pass through the loop and pull it tight. Hide the yarn between the two squares. Continue with the needle through the next foot stitch and repeat to the next edge space. Now we come to the center stitch. Let's end it with a knot. Okay, now we've connected 3 granny squares. Let's go ahead and take out our 4th granny square. Face up. Attach it to the center granny square of the 3 connected blocks. Fold it down and make the edges line up. Continue crocheting with the yarn that was attached to the 3rd granny square. Find the center stitch to begin. Make a knot. Repeat the connection as before. At this point, we realize that the yarn is not long enough and it is difficult to continue the stitching. Make a knot at the end stitches. Let's take some yarn. Thread the yarn. Then make a knot on the next sets of stitches. Continue. Now we come to the center stitch in edge space, where our connection ended. Make a knot. Here's what it looks like from the front. Okay, last step. Let's hide the yarn. Go through the first 3 loops. Find the stitch in the center of the double crochet. Then go through the loop of the double crochet. Cut the excess yarn. Same steps for the rest of the yarn. Of course, you can also choose to cut them off after you complete the bag. Flatten the squares. This way our 4 granny squares are finished, like a upside-down T word. Beside the 4 pieces just connected, we also need to connect the other 3 pieces. One horizontal piece of 4 connected. A piece of 3 connected. And a piece of 2 connected. You can place all the pieces in order when you are prepared. Just place them like this. We're going to connect them by sewing here. Here. And here. Turn them around to make it easier to crochet. Let's start by connecting the sides. Fold the T down and start joining with the edges aligned. Take some yarn, which is 3 times as long as the edge of the granny square. Thread the yarn. We need to make a knot at the beginning and at the end. We need to pay attention to the middle connection. We are going to make 3 knots. The first knot. The second knot should be put into a loop formed by the gray line. I made it too tight when I sewed it up, so it is a little bit hard to see. The third knot. Start by find out the stitches at the diagonal. Insert the needle through the 2 stitches. Do it again. And go through the loop. Go ahead and run the needle through the stitches. We've come to the center. We need to pop 3 knots. The first knot. The second knot. The third knot. Then go ahead and run the needle. Make a knot at the end stitches. Now we're finished connecting the T to the 4 granny squares. Hide the threads. Use scissors to cut off the excess threads. After hiding, it will look like this. Take the other 2 pieces you prepared before. Put them in place. Follow the steps just connected. We need to pay attention to the weak spot in the middle. Same here. And here. And this part as well. Okay, you can connect this side and this side by yourself. Now that all the squares are connected, make sure the front side is facing up. We find the diagonal of the square in the center and fold it in half. Fold it from right to the left. And rotate it 90 degrees clockwise. Fold the two squares at the left and right diagonally. The top side is the opening of the bag. We need to seam from this side to this side. We'll only show one side. You need to finish the other side on your own. Let's begin with the left side. The connection will start here. Take out the yarn and start here with a knot. Again, make a loop. And tie a knot through the loop. Then we can continue with the connection as before. We need to tie two knots at first corner. Okay, we're now at the first corner. Find the center stitch of these two squares. We're going to pass the needle through the center stitch. Repeat. Make a knot through that loop to make it more secure. And the first knot is done. Then we rotate it a bit to make it easier to crochet. Find the center stitch of this to square, pass it twice and make a knot. With the second knot completed, let's move on to the next two sides. Rotate it a bit to make it easier to crochet. The yarn isn't long enough. Tie a knot and take the yarn. And go ahead and continue with the connection. We made it to the second corner and need to tie 3 knots here. Stitch through the center stitch of this to squares and make the first knot. The second knot. We need to cross the stitch twice and make the second knot. The second knot is done. Continue with the third knot. Rotate it so that we can pinch the 2 layers of squares. Find the center stitch and go through both pieces at the same time. Repeat and tie the third knot. The third knot is done. This completes the 3 knots at this intersection. Then continue with the connection. Now we come to the end. Let's make 3 knots. Repeat and make a knot. The second knot. The third knot. So we've finished connecting the left side. The remaining side will need to be connected together as the same way. We need to tie 2 knots at first corner. At the second corner, we need to tie 3 knots. And end it with 3 knots. Now that we've got it all connected together, let's turn it over and see how it looks. Next, we take out our crochet hook. We're going to crochet a row of single stitches around the edge of the bag opening. The top corners of the squares we can call peak position. The recessed ones we can call valley position. We need to crochet 2 single stitches in the center space of the peak position. We're going to do the same with the 2 on this side. Pay attention to the placement of each of the valley position. And this is the third valley position. This is the last valley. Before we start, let's find out all the holes under the top side on the bag. Let me use the needle to show you where these holes are. We are going to pop a single crochet in each hole. Okay, let's start with a single crochet in a center space. First, take out the yarn and wrap the yarn around the index finger. Pinch the thread with your middle finger and thumb. Flip the loop and make a slip knot. Insert our hook into this loop and pull the yarn to fix it. Wrap the yarn around your fingers. We'll start at the third center space of the square. Insert your hook into this space. Yarn over and pull the hook through the space. Now it have 2 loops on your hook. So yarn over and pull through this to loop. Let's do it again. Insert your hook into this hole. Yarn over and pull the hook through the hole. Yarn over again and pull all the loops. Keep going to crochet along each stitches. Repeat it. Here we come to the first peak position. We need to crochet to single stitches. The first one. The second one. Do the same with the remaining 3 top positions. Continue to crochet and come to the intersection. Here we come to the first valley position. We can see 3 granny squares coming together here. And we need to crochet in these 3 center stitches. The first center stitch. The second one. The third one. Okay, let's continue the crochet through these 3 holes. Insert the hook through the first center stitch. Yarn over and pull it out. And we have 2 loops on the crochet hook. Then find the next center stitch. Yarn over again and pull it out. And have 3 loops on the hook. Crochet through the next center stitch. One more time, yarn over and pull out. Have 4 loops on the crochet hook. Yarn over again, but pull out through the 4 loops all together. The crochet of the valley position is done. Continue with next hole. Yarn over and pull through the hole. Yarn over again and pull through both loops on the hook. Crocheting like this for the rest. And don't forget to crochet the remaining 3 low positions like we just did. Keep crocheting like this until the end. Here we come to the last single stitch. Okay, let's go on to the end. We're going to make a slip stitch through the second hole at the beginning. Find the second hole of the single stitch. Insert our hook through the second hole. Yarn over and pull out through the hole. There are 2 loops on the hook. Pull the first loop through the another on your hook. And the slip stitch has been made. Cut the yarn with scissors. Pull out the yarn with the hook. Let's use the needle to hide the yarn. Thread the yarn through the needle. Find the stitch in the center of the double crochet. Go through the stitch. Then go through the loop of the double crochet. We'll pick out one line and go through again. Same way on the other side. Go through the stitch. Go through the loop of the double crochet. Pick out one line and go through again. Make a knot. Knot again to fix them. And cut the excess yarn. We finished crocheting the entire opening. The final step is installing the shoulder straps. We gonna fasten the straps to each peak positions. The back side is the same. Congratulations! You've made your very own granny square bag.